Sheep. Sheep. Come here, big boy. A big guard dog coming to us. Welcome, everyone. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Tonight's topic is hair sheep, parasite-resistant hair sheep. These are the no frills type of sheep. You don't have any fancy stuff you have to do with them. And how you doing, pretty girl? Yeah. Oh, you like a good pet. It's a young pup we've got. She's not quite a year old yet. There's big boy. Hey, big boy, come here. Yeah, I don't know about you all. Y'all got them funny looking hats on tonight. You don't look the same. Anyway, there's our one wire sheep over there. One wire sheep fence. It's 10.5 to 12 inches off the ground using poly braid. We do like the Powerflex poly braid, the mixed metal. It's got 6 steel and 3 copper. I know it's hard to find. I think they're sold out. But if you can get in on an order, on the next order, get some of that. And those are the O'Brien step-ins. That's our sheep fence. That's it. We're keeping in about 250 to 300 sheep with that wire. And there's 7 big grass genetic South Pole bulls. I say big, 2-year-olds. They're probably 1,000, 1,100 pound bulls. But they stay in with that wire, and they could easily step over that. A sheep could go under it, over the top. But why would they? Look at the forage in here. And folks, this is sheep forage. There is a lot of leaf structure in here. Big round leaves. There's ironweed. Of course, there's goldenrod. There's autumn olive. There's multiflorous bushes. There's wild carrot, Queen Anne's lace. There's clover. It's just a garden salad for these sheep. And you see that ewe there. She's munching on it. So folks, the higher up on the canopy that you can graze your sheep, the less parasites they're going to pick up. And I think that's pivotal. That's one of the building blocks of a good flock, is moving them. Oh, look at that ram. That colored ram, I love him. He's put a lot of color into our lamb crop this year. Boy, he's just slick as a button.
So where do the worms live, Greg?
Where do the worms live? Well, they live where the sun can't get them. They're down on that lower canopy. So the lower you make your animals graze, the more parasites that they are ingesting. There's a lot of people that are struggling right now with parasites in their sheep. And it's just not, well, part of it is it's the grazing, and part of it is it's the breeds. We never had much luck trying Dorpers. Dorpers are great sheep if you can get them to the market. I mean, they're meaty, they got a big butt on them, really good market lambs. But the ones that we saw on our farm, they died. They just couldn't make it, and that's because we don't worm. Yeah, look at that. I'm going to see if I can get up there. Sheep are a little more flighty than the cows. You got to walk slow. Look at them. Like a bunch of goats. Matter of fact, that one's got horns like a goat. That's not a goat. That's a sheep.
That's the lamb behind it.
Yeah, that's her lamb.
And when is that born?
May 1st. We started lambing May 1st, and it was done, pretty much done by the 3rd week of May. But folks, all you can hear in there is just this rip, 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 rip. And it's those sheep going after all those tender leaves. And so the higher up in the canopy that you make your sheep graze, the less incidence of them ingesting parasites, period. So I'm not going to go out here and cut all these sprouts and spray them with Roundup or Toradon or whatever. We're going to destroy a lot of sheep and deer feed, and the cows eat it too. So they're trying to heal the soil. That's what the invasives are doing. They're putting out root exudates. Those sheep, look at that. They're eating those leaves. Now she's going to reach down and get a little bit of clover. Whatever goes in front of that sheep, if it's round, it's got a leaf on it, she's gonna eat it.
Queen Anne's lace.
Queen Anne's lace. I can hear him. You hear him, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get a little closer. Let's look down here. See it. I mean, they're just tearing it up over here. Oh, there they are. They're eating the ironweed. They're eating the ironweed.
Oh yeah, down there.
Yep. Ironweed. This one over here is actually working on a multiflorous bush. You can barely see his head sticking up. It's just tearing up that multiflorous bush. That multiflorous bush is going to have a hard life.
We used to manage to get rid of all.
Oh, you wouldn't believe the days that Jan and I spent out here cutting this stuff. The paintbrush, painting it to keep it from growing back. It was costing us money. It was costing us money for the product, labor, intense labor. And the next year, Jan, was it gone or was it back?
It was back.
It was back.
But at one time, our goal was to get to 500 sheep. And we had 300, and we noticed that all this weedy stuff was going away.
Yeah, we've had some brush paddocks. That's what we named them, was brush paddocks. We've had to rename them because there's not any brush left on them anymore.
But you have to be careful what you're managing for.
That's correct.
So do you want all those weedies gone and if you're grazing sheep?
Nope. Absolutely not. If we get rid of all these leaves in here, by getting rid of the weeds, and yep, this little lamb, he's working over a multiflorous bush.
But if we got rid of all the weedies,
you get rid of all the woodies, the stuff that has thorns on it, and stuff like that. You don't have any sheep feed.
Oh, St. Croix influence.
Oh yeah, see the little bells on that sheep's neck? That's from the St. Croix breed. See them? They look like little bells hanging down. There's 2 of them. Yeah, they're on her neck right there. Oh yeah, here comes the lamb. So that is a beautiful lamb. We're going to be getting those up here in July. And the ram lambs, the really nice ones we save. We've got a bunch of ram lambs that are going to be sold in August this year. We've got a bunch of customers already lined up for those. And the ewe lambs will be sold. We sell them August 29th and 30th. But you got to have your deposit in and the number that you want beforehand. We are sold out on ewe lambs. We may have a few available depending on my cooperator herd, depending on how many he has available.
And any rams?
We're going to have plenty of rams. Yep, we're going to have some really nice rams. So
they can use the rams like the foals?
Absolutely. If you get a good parasite-resistant ram and put him on a flock of Katahdins or whatever, we're talking about St. Croix cross rams here, he's going to impart his parasite resistance on his young. And you keep the best out of that first cross, and a couple years down the road, you're going to be well on your way to a parasite-resistant sheep flock. Folks, there's about 300 head of sheep here. Not a single animal that you're looking at here has ever been wormed, ever. So it can be done. You got to move them. You got to have the right kind of seed stock. You can't go to the sale barn and buy what goes through the ring. That's a really good way to bring something nasty onto your farm, like foot rot, to name one of many. Don't do that.
We had a friend who did that.
We had a friend that did that. Pretty much ruined his whole sheep flock. He had to sell out because he had foot rot in his
bottle mouth.
Yeah, you just don't. It's a great place to not go buy sheep. Look at this weed right here, Jan. That's ironweed. You want to get up beside that and show me the leaves on these? Look at that.
And here's that other plant.
Yeah, they stripped it clean. Look at that. There's no leaves left on that ironweed. That's a big, tall one. That's as tall as you are.
Almost.
Chest high. There's another example right next to it.
And then over here, here's the autumn olives.
Yep. There's some more ironweed. They bent that one over. Something had to, once they got that bent over, a bunch of them attacked it. Look at that. Yep. 2 little leaves left on the top. The oak sprouts, they don't eat as much unless you get them really tender and short and get them in tight. If you put them in tight, they will eat the oak sprouts. We found that out. Golly, there's so much good sheep feed in here. Now, a cattleman would look at this and just have nightmares. It's like, oh my gosh, Greg, it's just...
We just saw the bulls eating it.
Yeah, we just saw the bull. Just saw the bulls eating it earlier before we started this video. I mean, so is it really that bad a forage? Absolutely not. So
they learn how to eat it.
They do. And so is it a weed if an animal will eat it? No. It's forage. I wouldn't even call it a forb. I'd call it forage. Really high quality forage. And look what they're doing with this other stuff that's down here on the ground. That's fescue, orchard grass, and clover. They're stepping on it and eating all these weeds. So they're putting down a nice carbon sink mat on the ground by walking up and down this strip. And they're going to be here one more day, and then we're going to move them into another piece of ground. Oh, here's our wild soybean. Stick tight. They haven't ate that one yet. I would say that's going to be in trouble.
Well, it is.
Oh yeah, they've nipped the tops off all of those. Yep. But it's just really awesome, folks, to go out on rough ground, and this is a rough old piece of land. It really is. But to go out on a rough old piece of ground and see sheep just getting a wonderful garden salad and making you some money. You're not running equipment on it to keep it under control. The sheep are kind of doing that for us as long as we keep it in this shape right here. I mean, that autumn olive is just getting hammered. You can spray that autumn olive until your face falls off. You're not going to kill it. But if you put sheep on it, you can certainly control it. I'm going to show you this black ewe right here. Boy, she's got 2 beautiful lambs on her. There's that little brown one right there in front of her. And there's a white one behind her. They were both sucking on her just a minute ago.
And they're how old?
They were born in May. Look at that.
And we're at the end of June.
Yeah, end of June.
So they're about 2 months.
2 months old. Yep. But that's the beautiful thing about sheep. They will wean their lambs. I mean, they'll wean them. When those lambs get big enough to lift that ewe up off the ground when they suck, she doesn't take that very kindly. She'll absolutely not let them do that. She'll just move forward. She'll move forward and not let them suck.
So are we worried about some of them you hadn't shut off yet?
No. The question was, are we worried about the ones that haven't shut off? You know, that ewe there's got lambs on her. We'll look at her in September. If she's got any bone showing, any kind of bones at all, she's gone. We call those. We don't want to winter a thin ewe. But you don't do that till about the 1st of September. Don't keep thin ewes going into the winter because all they're doing is eating forage. Shouldn't call it feed. They're eating forage that your good ones could be eating. So you don't want to do that. Sell those thin ones. Well, there's some nice lambs in here. I can't believe how much they have grown in the last month. I mean, those are dandies. And the beauty of a hair sheep is you don't have to dock the tails. Of course, we've never ever trimmed a foot in our life. We don't vaccinate. The only things that get a shot would be the ram lambs that get clamped, or in this banded. They've got a pretty good sized set of testicles. You want to give them a tetanus shot. If you don't, there's a good chance that you could get tetanus in them and they die. You don't want to do that. Just give them a shot. It's $1. We don't ear tag. None of the lambs are ear tagged. None of the ewes are ear tagged. The only thing that gets a tag in its ear is when they're sold. We do have a scrapie ID tag number for our farm, and it is federal law. You've got to put a scrapie ID tag in those sheep when you sell them off your farm so they can trace them back to your farm. Those tags are available through the USDA, and yeah, so.
We do have the bulls back there.
Yeah, the bulls are coming in behind us, way back in the distance here. There you can see them lined up back there, straight across from us. They're coming behind the sheep. They're going to the promised land tomorrow. They get to go turned into the cow herd. They're going to be some happy bulls. But you know, this is pretty cool. Taking a really poor farm and making a good living just by, you know, managing, moving the sheep, keeping them moving on all this brush, and just keeping them moving. We are collecting solar energy through all these plant leaves. And with that, oh my goodness, look at this little guy. He was, oh, that's a beautiful little sheep. That's a little ewe. We'll keep her. Look at that. Isn't she pretty?
And then we got a white one over there.
We got a white one. That little ewe there's got twins. Folks, that little ewe doesn't weigh 110 pounds. She wouldn't weigh 110. She's probably about 90. Got two nice lambs on her. You don't think she's going to wean over 50% of her body weight? Absolutely. I mean, my goodness. You talk about efficient animals.
Before you sign off, it's 2 months before the applications are due.
2 months, yeah, we're 2 months before the applications are due for our intern program. And so if you're interested in internships, get those applications in. And with that,
They're due at the end of August 31st at midnight.
Yeah, August 31st at midnight. We have got a ton of them this year. I think a lot of that goes out to Ben and Isaac. They're just super young interns. We're tickled to have them. And with that, go to our YouTube, go to our channel, our website, I'm sorry, greenpasturesfarm.net. Check out my books there, and we've got t-shirts now. We're going to have hats. Have I missed anything, Jan? Okay. Hit the subscribe button on the way out and that like, and we'll see you all down the road. Thank you all.